Hello Wolfpack, we're going to be looking into Aave today. I've seen on Twitter, and you would have seen it as well, right? It hasn't been an isolated case, right? Lots of people have been talking about it on Twitter, in which Aave has been kind of the big coin in which people are looking at over the last couple of days, and it's spread like wildfire, right? Aave is kind of everywhere on Twitter right now if you've been on there recently, and that is because, mainly from what I'm seeing, people are looking at Aave as a bullish structure due to the fact that it's kind of, first of all, a pretty popular coin. Second of all, it's bottoming out in this region here between around 200 USD and around 150 USD. And we can see that we've come to this bottom here, and we saw a very bullish jump upwards, right? And that's a textbook kind of cup formation here. And the next logical step that people are saying Aave will make is a inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? Something like that. And the reason why I think that this potentially isn't the case, and this potentially isn't what we're going to do, is because I think that Aave doesn't actually look like it's in a very good position right now. I think that this video is kind of being made to kind of debunk that trading signal, and I think there's a lot of better coins out there right now. Now, on a very surface level, Aave doesn't look too bad. You know, it's got that bounce off of this structure here. It's got a very strong rise up, and it's got an inverted head and shoulders pattern potentially forming. You know, we've had lower highs, lower lows to a certain extent, but this is somewhat of a double bottom on a longer term scale. And we look like, you know, from just face value on the price chart, we should be able to just create a bounce here and just jump straight up, right? And that's kind of what people are expecting. I strongly disagree with that premise, and there's a lot of reasons why. The first reasons why is because of this resistance box here, and we can see that this resistance has acted pretty strongly throughout the entire year for Aave. I think it's called Aave, right? Something like that, Aave, right? And we've had this throughout the entire year, and we'll circle some regions in which this has acted as resistance, right? On the first move up, it's acted as resistance here. Support, came back up, resistance briefly, dropped below it again, support here, kind of chop zone here, we act as resistance and resistance once again. So that's a major point of contention. That's completely undeniable. And we're yet to get over that on Aave right now. And that is at around 300 USD. So 300 USD is basically the critical breaker for Aave. If you're looking to get in this coin, I wouldn't be buying under 300 USD by any stretch of the imagination. I think anything under 300 USD, anything under that major resistance block, would be, quite frankly, a quite stupid buy for Aave. You want to be waiting for a break of that resistance. Don't buy at resistance, buy at support, right? And if we come up here, we flip 300, and that's going to be a flip there, and we start bouncing to the upside. That might be a better place to buy Aave, but right now it doesn't look too good, right? Another reason, and another hidden reason why it doesn't look too good, is because we can actually draw some sort of line here that would indicate that Aave is actually rejecting off of a long-term support line or resistance line. And this line here, this red line I've just drawn in, had a few tests here back in late 2020, another test here, and tests throughout this entire upwards channel region. And what we've actually done is we've dropped below it, we've come back up, we've rejected off of it, and it's acting at 300 USD, which is our major resistance, by the way. And now we've headed to the downside, right? What would the next logical step for Aave be based off of this? Well, the next logical step would be to drop back into the support zone, right? And potentially from there, we might see a W formation. But, you know, if we can get above this resistance line and 300 USD, that might be a buy signal for Aave, but right now it just doesn't look too good. And kind of supporting the fact that we might not be able to do that is the Ichimoku cloud, which is acting as resistance in the same region, right? The bull market support band, once again, acting as resistance in the same region. The 9 EMA, which is kind of supporting us right now, and we have the 50-week and the 50-day and the 200-day. The 200-day, which is the stronger one of the two, is acting as resistance at 300 USD as well. So you can see that out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 indicators I brought up here, 5 of them are acting as resistance, and those are the 5 strongest ones, right? One of them is the 9 EMA, which you can pretty much count out. And so from that, we can say that it's 5 versus 1 here in terms of dynamic resistance. And then we've also got this uptrending line, which is resistance as well. And that you know, that's, again, telling us that Aave is not in the most comfortable position right now, and that potentially a correction might be imminent, and we might not be able to break through this line here. If we bring up volume, we haven't looked at volume. I haven't even looked at volume, I'm going to be honest with you. I just want to see what volume's saying here. And yeah, so the volume right here is another bearish indicator. Volume is trending downwards, and the price is trending upwards, which means that this upwards trend is not going to be able to be sustained, right? This new upwards move is not going to be able to be sustained. We're ultimately going to reject. I'm pretty confident we're going to reject off of this red line here and head downwards on Aave. And that's just the point blank reality of it. We're also seeing that on the MACD, We've had a bullish cross and we've headed to the upside massively, but we can see on the histogram, if we zoom up here, we're losing momentum rapidly and we might be coming in for a bearish MACD cross if we don't start taking 300 USD quite quickly. So Aave looks like it's in for a correction. What would be a bullish correction for Aave? Well, a bullish correction would be coming down to 200 USD, right? The top of the support box and bouncing off of that before heading upwards. We don't necessarily want to come all the way down to the bottom of the support box. Doesn't really seem necessary. We want to be forming a higher low formation and some sort of bullish bat, and then we can bounce up to the upside here on Aave. That's what we want to be seeing. So essentially, it doesn't look too great on the daily chart, right? We might be rejecting here. As for the weekly chart, again, doesn't look too great. We do have a bullish MACD cross incoming. However, right, that bullish MACD cross relies on us seeing some green price action in this weekly candle, which I think we've established by the daily candle we're probably not going to see. So we're probably going to trend down on this weekly candle as well, and therefore that bullish MACD cross is not going to be hit. It's not going to be triggered. It's going to be delayed and pushed down the road, and we can see that we're right now rejecting. We have done it for 2 weeks here so far, rejecting off of the center line of the Gaussian channel, which would once again suggest that we will be heading downwards once again. Now, my prediction for Aave based off these two things, based on these two charts, is that we will be heading down to 200 USD. From that point, Aave might look like a bit of a better buy. Okay, even then it might be slightly risky. But what I would say to you is that if we can get back above this uptrending line on Aave, that would constitute us getting, or that would consist of us getting above the bull market support band, getting above the Ichimoku cloud, and getting above the 200-day SMA. And so getting above that red line at 300 USD or slightly above would be a buy signal for Aave for another short-term bounce off of this major support line, right? Because everything would be below us at that point. But until then, don't listen to the Twitter posts, right? I've seen an abundance of them. Don't listen to them. I don't think it's very educated what they're doing. I think it's actually quite pathetic in a certain way, because this is just basic technical analysis here. Obviously I do this full time. Some people aren't going to have the time to do the charting that I do, but I found this within 10 minutes of finding the chart. It doesn't look too good, and the fact that it's been short on Twitter is quite disappointing, to be honest. We can look at the Bitcoin pair here on Aave. We can see that, once again, doesn't look too good, right? We have an uptrending line here on the Bitcoin pair that I've just distinguished here, and we can kind of draw that in something like that. And we can see that we've tested that 1, 2, 3, and we've come up for a 4th time, and we are once again rejecting off of that line on the Bitcoin pair as well, which kind of suggests that Aave will bleed against Bitcoin in the coming weeks as well. So, look, at the minimum, I would expect to drop back down to 200 USD before any sign of bullish price action. I really don't think this rally is going to sustain. I don't think we're going to see that inverted head and shoulders pattern like people are calling for. I just wanted to keep it, clarified here. I know a lot of people who are watching this video might have been coming from those Twitter posts. I just wanted to show you the other side of the story that some of those Twitter influencers probably wouldn't show you. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.